Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. It is a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. On this episode, we are joined by Sambaza, host and creator of the Sambaza podcast. Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast, a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. Welcome. I'm Jen, and we are happy to have our co-host, Sambaza, host and creator of the Sambaza podcast, originating from the Republic of Kenya. He has established himself as a distinguished figure in the podcasting community. His work has been recognized with 3 nominations for Best African Diasporan Podcast by the APVA, along with a nomination for Best Blog by the Texas Creator Awards. Since 2023, Sambaza has been a featured presenter at the Afro's Audio Podcast Festival and recently contributed at the 2025 Podfest and on his way to the 2026 Podfest. Hey, Sambaza.
Hey, Jen, what's up? How are you doing today?
Happy New Year.
Jen, you can hear me, right? What?
Yes.
What? It's already New Year? I thought we just, yeah. Well, I thought we had already talked about, we did a show. Did we do the show before New Year or after New Year?
No, it was before.
That TikTok?
Oh, you know what? No, that was before.
Oh, that was before? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was actually on New Year's Eve.
Ah.
So,
Oh, okay.
it
Another
was.
year.
So, it is.
Yeah, we're in the building. Well,
So, you'll be packing your bags in a minute there, right?
yeah, can you imagine? Speaking at Picha Kucha this coming week, and yeah, we got a nice talk that's going to be coming up, and yeah, I think it's going to be great.
And you're ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Actually,
Okay.
you remember I won the VIP pass, so I'm going to be stoked to use it and see what it has entailed. Because they got things to do with massages and stuff like that. So I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to get a massage. I'm going to enjoy my massage. But anyway, it's great. We're here online. But today we're doing YouTube, TikTok. We're missing out on Clubhouse, but you got it on Facebook and anywhere everybody's watching the show. So welcome everybody. Ed Campbell says peace and gratitude. Thank you so much. And then we have Denise. She's in today. So welcome. And if you're on live on TikTok, welcome to the show. And let's get started.
For
now,
sure.
I'm going to my affirmation of the day, right? My affirmation of the day or of the week says, I answer questions about my goals without getting defensive. I answer questions about my goals without getting defensive. That's the affirmation of the week.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. Before you go on, we will share our pre-introduction of our topic. So in this episode, a shout out to our additional platforms. Welcome in everyone. Thank you for catching the episode in real time. The audio episode will be out soon. But yeah, today we're going to talk about how social media has transformed the way that we talk about mental health. That is a topic that we definitely keep close and definitely want to continue that conversation. So from viral self-help content to curated healing aesthetics, we want to ask, are we really finding growth or just validation online? So that's our pre-introduction.
Okay, that's great. I think I'm stoked for this topic because we've had these conversations about what's going online and stuff like that, and yeah, ready for the show. How about you today?
Yeah, for sure. Do you have a proverb to share?
Yes, proverb of the day.
Okay.
It's gonna come from Africa, of course, and it says, "Don't think there are no crocodiles just because the water is calm." So
Okay.
what can you say about that proverb?
No, that's real life. I can agree with that. You said just because the water is calm?
Does not mean that there are no crocodiles.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. What's another? It reminds me of, I guess, American saying of, hold your mule, don't be a fool. Yeah, you got to cut the grass so you can see the snakes. All
Yeah.
those things.
What about the one for the roses? Roses have thorns. Even though roses are beautiful, they do have thorns within them. So you got to be careful with roses. So hey, that says something about it.
Not Denise laughing. I know what she's laughing at. No, that's a good one. What do you have to share about that?
Well, it's like just because you see that things are calm, and people on the outside looking in. Most of the time, people judge you by what they see, but they don't realize that there are things that are going on behind the scenes. Like
Mhm.
today, for example, people just looking at us coming on. We were supposed to be here out at 8 o'clock, and they're like, maybe they're just taking their time or anything, but they don't realize something had gone down. We had so many things going on, but here we are, and you're like, oh wow, the set is up. No, there were things going on before we came to the set. So just because the set looks great and is it's fine doesn't mean that everything just works out like it's supposed to be every time. There's always something going behind the scenes. So that's what I caught from that proverb today.
That's a different twist. I'm thinking like don't be so trusting, be, mindful and alert or something like that. So, hold your mule. Don't be a fool.
I
Hold your
agree. I
mule.
agree. I agree. I agree. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So on to the topic for today.
Yes. So, in a world where mental health language has gone mainstream, social media has become both a lifeline and sometimes a performative space, it seems. So, this episode will talk about how platforms like TikTok, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, shape the way we talk about healing and whether that's helping us grow or just making us feel seen online without genuine accountability. So that's the question. Are we actually doing the work to heal or are we just curating pain for clicks and engagement? Therapy or TikTok? So,
Um,
initial thoughts.
uh, if we start off with therapy, what is therapy? What are forms of therapy? You can have someone talk to you about it. You can go to church and have therapy. There are various forms of therapy. You can talk about it. Like, um, this is kind of sad, but I think when you talk about African, we always say about when someone passes on,
Mhm.
and our therapy is that we talk about it. So they keep talking, and people are around you, and they talk about stuff. And back in the day, they used to stay around your house until maybe like a week or two or a week. Nowadays you can't do that. But by that time, things will have simmered. Things will have come. It's not going to be the same, but they will try and get you engaged so that you don't have so much around you or your mind.
You mean
So
the bereaved family?
yeah, so the bereaved family.
Mhm.
So there's that kind of therapy. That's one of the therapies. I just had to throw that in.
Mhm.
But also, you can have a therapy where I can say, if I'm not feeling okay, or if I want to feel great about myself, I'll go run. And then there's also, running could be a therapy, walking could be a therapy, sitting in the park could be a therapy, reading, or
Okay.
going and listening to music. Now,
Okay.
TikTok, AI, all these new things now bring a whole bunch of stuff in them, because even at the therapy,
Mhm.
need a therapist here, because yeah, we're just going to talk about it in general, but the way it goes, you have different forms. So the people who will express themselves by going out to TikTok and talk about it,
Right.
unfortunately with the TikTok, it's like boom 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 boom, you get the likes, and everybody else wants to listen to you and follow you, or now you become an interesting character. There's trauma bonding. That's what I'm going to say. So there could be some trauma bonding about it. So those are the things that I was thinking about in terms of the therapy and TikTok and how you look at the forms of therapy. But I'll read up something here. It says, according to the CDC, right? the United States definitely experienced a rise in therapy and mental awareness post 2020. I think that was after the George Floyd situation and what have you.
Hmm.
Looking specifically at 2020 and the pandemic, actually, the pandemic was the one that really did it.
Hmm.
About 20.3 of US adults received some form of mental health treatment in the previous year, and including 10.1% who got counseling or therapy from a professional, and 16.5 who took medication for mental health. Now, in US, the share of adults receiving any mental health treatment rose from about 19% in 2019 to roughly 23% in
Hmm.
2022, meaning 1 in 4 adults reported getting counseling, therapy, or medication. So 18 to 44 treatment jumped from about 18.5 all the way to 23.2. So there has been a rise.
Hmm.
And now with access, especially now, you have the telehealth where you can talk to your doctor like one on
Hmm.
one on online. That has been one of the ways that people have been able to express themselves and go to um, get therapy from the doctors. And
Right.
yeah, so that's the reason I would say, not the reason, but that's the thing that I've seen or we've seen so far. And even in the top topics, even without even having to go to these results that we have provided, the statistics, I
Hmm.
think there's always been that talk now. People accepting mental health and looking at their mental health, self care. Like Jesse told us about the self care aspect of it. People want about themselves. They're always about how they want to treat others and go out of their way to be good and treat others, not worrying about themselves. And I think at this point in time, I think from around that 2020, there was a jump in where now people refocused and looked upon themselves. My question to you: is this a good thing or a bad thing?
That there is a rise in
Mhm.
the interest. I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing that when we can see those factors, the pandemic being a factor, the traumatic events like George Floyd's death and other similar police related incidents that happened, Ahmaud Arbery, that caused a lot of trauma to people, and people start expressing it. People started podcasts to share like someone we may know, to share, these feelings and things like that. Like you mentioned, telehealth companies like Better Health. I heard someone describe Better Health and other similar companies like a DoorDash for uh, counselors, like independent, like it's a DoorDash for them that is, um, but I mean, so I think it's good that people are seeking it out. They're interested in it, instead of just sitting there sulking in this pain that can, lead to deterioration of people. So that part is good, but you have to wonder about the performative piece. We know that people can monetize their content, and when people are just, and I have some definitions that I want to share about trauma dumping, and what was the other one? Cloud chasing. Cloud chasing. I actually have a formal definition to share. You just wonder about the ones who are not genuine.
Okay, but what if it's so to me, I'll say it goes both on the good and the bad. I like
Hmm.
to look at it on the good side, where a lot of people now are expressing what they're going through, right?
Right.
You and me, I look at a person who's just like you and or just like me, and I say, you know what, they're experiencing these problems, and I do not think that they would experience such a thing. And here I am, and I kind of look back at myself and say, you know what, if this person is having this type of issue, then I'm good. You know, um, not in the sense that I'm good, in the sense that I can feel that you are with me. You are talking to me, and there's a connection, right? And
Okay.
that's where you get your likes and everything. But it says, you know what? I'm going to go back and listen to what happened to them, and kind of follow them. if they're on social media and stuff like that, because they want to hear what exactly happened.
So the relatable piece.
It's
Mhm.
relatable to what
Mhm.
you're going through. So you kind of feel like, okay, it's that trauma bonding. I feel you going the same thing. We get together and we have this great conversation. Now, there's another part where, and I saw this on TikTok as well. Somebody had done a
Mhm.
lot of content. I followed them on TikTok. They had done a lot of content and it was great content. Everything was nice. Then one day they posted that part where there was trauma around themselves. Now, I don't understand whether it was something that they were trying to showcase, or was it content had there was not enough content, that now it was, let's see, this is what I have. Let me get some sympathy from the people. I don't know. But to me,
Mhm.
I didn't feel like that content was that's me, right? I didn't feel like that content was supposed to be put out there, considering what they had. It's a lady, so what they had pushed out there was always positive vibes, and it didn't have to go that way. This is something they
When
could have
what
kept it,
way? It was like something negative, or
something that had been done to them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm,
And
I'm
they were
trying to
sharing about it,
sharing about it. It was
like
trauma.
abuse, for example. Mhm.
Right, right.
Okay.
But it didn't have to. Everything was good. Everything was perfect, but you didn't have to bring that part. We knew you
I
for this
mean,
person, and I guess it's whatever you want to share.
right. I mean, I
Right.
guess if it's so, my question is it genuine, right? In that instance, the example you just shared, that sounds like it may have been genuine if like their content is normally not, on that level, and they, decided that they felt comfortable enough sharing something, then that may have been authentic and genuine and not just someone out here performing and, doing all the extra, sometimes you just really wonder, as especially like some, I don't know, I just really, I need to put myself on a TikTok break because it can just be too much, overstimulating. It really can be, because it just seems like people are performing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if they're online for so long, they get however many points or rewards, and that adds up to followers, and that adds up to some kind of monetization algorithm situation that everybody is seeking. And it just seems performative and inauthentic. You know what I mean? But if somebody's really sharing, like someone shared a personal moment that happened to them, that may be different.
Yeah. There was one.
Hmm.
This girl was online, and she documented her life all the way till she died because she was having some disease. Some
Mm.
Yeah, it was. So she documented all the way until the last part where, yeah, you could see this was it, and yeah, people followed.
Yeah, I've seen some people do something similar.
It's a choice, but
It is.
um, we'll take the trauma, or like, not trauma, but I'm gonna let me not talk about that part. Let's talk about just somebody coming online and then sharing what they have gone through, and they have gone through all these things about their life. Now, my question is, at that point, when I look at the that particular clip, those clips, I'm looking at, okay, what is your mission? What is your why? Actually, yeah, what is your why? Why are
Hmm.
we doing this? What are you intending to get out of this? You're gonna educate some people. Um, what is the end goal actually? So what, to me, I look at it and I say, okay, fine. I'm always for the positive. When it starts coming to the negative, then I'm like, let me stay away. But if it's always on the positive, I'm like, okay, cool. That's what you like. Go ahead. If you like it, I love it. That's my motto.
Right. And then, like, you always have the choice to, remove yourself, keep scrolling, not participate in a lot of things. And I found myself going through the good old Facebook list, like, okay, one, who are these people? And two, is this, something that I still want to subscribe to? The whole conversation about renew, let it expire. Yeah. So if it's not your type of time, you can bow out gracefully.
You get sucked in. That algorithm, once
Yeah.
it gets to you, man, you get sucked in, and it's so good. Some of those stories become so good. You're like, really? And they did what to you? So you kind of get you're gonna get sucked in very well, especially with the reels and stuff. Which
Hmm.
reminds me, I used to like reels. I never liked reels. Nowadays, man, I be going reels. Wow, this is what happened. See, but it just took time. It just took time. So yeah, I think we need a break here to catch on. Hey guys, we are talking about therapy or TikTok. The discussion is how things are being put out there. We're trying to decipher whether it's for the likes, cloud chasing, or what type of stuff we're getting on online, and maybe figure out how we can deal with it. But we got some people who are chatting with us here. Denise from Heal, Empower, and Release says, "Go into the water if you want to." This was when we're talking about the proverb of the day, which says, "Don't think there are no crocodiles just because the water is calm." And Betty Bird says, "Happy New Year." Thank you, Betty Bird. Happy New Year to you too. Love you, and yeah, hope you'll keep joining us some more. And then she says, Denise again says, "Many times on social media, we do not know what is true or not. Cloud chasing for the bag." Yes.
And
Uh,
that's a perfect segue to the definition.
exactly. And on TikTok, I see Soda joined in, and Betty's
Oh,
also
hey,
joined in on the other
Sada.
side. Guys have joined in. Thank you for joining in, and we appreciate you. Thank you for, taking time to join us, and we appreciate you. So let's get on. What are we saying? You going to the definition? Yes.
Yeah,
What's it?
so we did locate a definition about chasing and trauma dumping. So, okay, so clout. So we'll break it down. Clout is a form of digital social capital where people may exaggerate experiences, stir drama, or post extreme takes just to get more views, likes, or followers. So, the working definition of clout chasing is using situations, opinions, or personal stories mainly to gain attention, status, or influence online to um rather than go from a place of genuine connection or care.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that's interesting. And it says that we can frame it. Clout chasing is where a goal quietly shifts from healing or honesty to going viral. So like that concern about that status, is prominent with that.
And like Denise said, you don't know when it's cloud chasing unless you know the person
Hmm.
personally.
Hmm.
And I guess that's the catch 22. How authentic are they, and how do they bring the authenticity to the show or to what they're telling you? Is it the crying part, or is it the I think details?
Well, I see. I feel like it's performative. If like every time you go to their content, it's something else. You know what I mean? Is it the melodrama continued, or is it just a whole nother thing? You know what I mean? So, that's when you kind of wonder, what are we? What is this? If that's your thing, fine. But yeah.
So if it's one incident and then the incident keeps changing, no, not keeps changing, but if it's one incident and then it just ends like that, and then after that we're not having any more. You heal and then you continue, and you come back the stronger person. Now we're dealing with positive vibes.
Mhm.
You think that one would be some type of I'll say a win for a person who comes up and talks about it. Let's say
Is it a win?
example, somebody had a broken marriage. Somebody had a broken marriage. She got cheated on, and or either way. man or whatever. So they got cheated on. Then they went through therapy. After therapy, they talk about it, and then after that, they come back and become a stronger person. They show you now they're living on their own. They say, "Hey, I'm going on dates." You see the whole thing going on until they found the right person. They get married, and then they're like, "Here, this is my life," right?
Oh my God, you just described Risa Tisa. Were you familiar with that story?
I know
So
probably in the next chapter she's doing a divorce. She's been divorced for a year. The next
yeah,
one,
and
talk
she's
about it.
kind of like a mixture of performative, clout chasing, and authentic because this, bizarre story, a romantic love story that went left or went wrong, and she, did this like, oh my God, 55 part story time about it. And
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah, because they even talked about it in the podcasting space because it was just that popular. I mean, she was like on the Today Show and all talk shows, and I think she even got like a trip out of the country from it. And that's the part that made me think, we're kind of performative here, where she's getting like special trips and deals just on the strength of that. But she did, experience this ordeal.
Yeah, hers was unique because I
Hmm.
mean that just blew up, and she just now hers was one, and there was another. Actually, there was another one in Kenya, just like that,
Okay.
where this was a lawyer, and she also got cheated by her husband, and she just
Hmm.
went online and just said it all out there. It did get views, a lot of
Hmm.
views. Now hers did not blow up like this one, but it's got the same type of views. I mean, when you look at apples and oranges, they
Hmm.
still came up on the same level. Um, I think it's at some point people say, you know what, I'm done. Let me bring out. Everyone has a way of releasing stress. You see what I'm saying? Everybody has a way of therapy, self
Right.
therapy. So that's one of the things people go through. They'll go and they'll just let it all out, shout it out, and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm done, and I'm going to
Right.
tell everybody about what you did." And she said hers was 55 parts.
Hmm.
Yeah, this
About
one,
so.
man. And well, fortunately or unfortunately, it helped her. It exposed a
Right.
lot of things about her. I mean, I'm sorry for the guy. Well, not so sorry for the guy. I was sorry for the guy because now you put yourself out there in the media and everybody's like hunting you down and trying to figure out where exactly or what you did, and then you have to say your story. Um, but well, it is what it is. He cheated. He got caught. Well, he had to pay
Right.
the price. That's a hefty price, though.
It is. Let me share this definition because this kind of goes hand in hand with that trauma dumping. So we learned this working definition of trauma dumping. It's unloading intense, often very personal or painful experiences onto others without their consent or emotional readiness, especially in spaces that aren't set up for that hold that kind of weight. So unloading intense painful experiences onto others without their consent, emotional readiness, because like people can, it's a lot of stimulus, like I mentioned, overstimulating, being on TikTok and hearing all of these different things. So emotional readiness, that's a word, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's interesting.
Now, do you think the experiences that you get from the first one, like say for example, you you get to listen or watch as many of those reels or follow up a
Hmm.
story. Do you think that's a way of healing for somebody? Is that a therapy? Because I'm thinking if I'm going to listen to it and hear the stories that people go through, like we have a, I don't know if it's a proverb or a saying that if you think your problems are bad, talk to your next person and hear their
Hmm.
problems. They're probably worse off than what you have.
Hmm.
With that, maybe when you listen to somebody having those issues, you look at yourself and you're like, man, you know what? Um, yeah, I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm blessed.
Yeah,
And
that's
here's
a
the way
way.
of the fact that you're comparing and say, that person is out bad. You're looking at yourself and realizing that, you could be in that situation. However, you're not in that situation. Maybe like you could be on a shared trauma. And I'm not saying that you
Mhm,
should stay in situations like those when they are dangerous, especially
mhm,
when it comes to violence. No,
mhm,
uh, you could have been in a situation where there was violence, got out of it, and then now you hear a story about somebody who went through the same thing and then looked at yourself and realized, you know what, I'm glad I got out at that point, because had I been at this particular point where this person has reached, it could have been like that or even worse, you know.
mhm,
So I think that could be a reaffirmation and also a testament of what you may have done in case of avoidance. And also, I don't know. Like I said, maybe we may need to get a professional to kind of follow up on this,
mhm,
because it is an interesting topic when you look at social media as a way of getting therapy. And considering that now they're trying to put AI in therapy sessions where people now
mhm,
can go talk about their problems online and get therapy. Actually, you can get therapy help from online, though experts have a problem with that. And
mhm.
also AI is also being, I think people, there's somebody who was asking questions on AI about about what to do, and then some kid died, something like that, suicide. So
Mhm, mhm,
yeah, so just do not get online and ask AI, Chat GPT, or this, or for those type of questions. Even if you're
mhm,
an adult, that's not the place to go. If you need help, just go make the call for help. I think it's is it 611, or there's, you can call for help, and there's a line that you can call for help. They'll assist you with that. And don't go to Chat GPT. That's not a way of helping. But
mhm.
um, you can listen to people. Um, but again, there's a okay, Jen, I'll tell you this. I just remembered. You can go ask the people, right? You can listen to people. But then some people be bad. They be into these cults, and they use
Mhm.
the trauma that you've had to recruit you into the cults.
I heard about that. It was,
So
yeah, there's a
yeah, be
lawsuit.
careful. Yeah, you got to be careful with that, because you don't know. And if you're weak,
Yeah.
hey, TikTok ain't for the weak. If you're weak, you'll get sucked into. Next thing you know, you'll be somewhere where you're not you're well, I'm hoping that your life does not depend on it, but you'll be somewhere where you shouldn't be. I'm probably
Right.
looking at mental, whatever, or your mindset.
Definitely. That's our next talking point was the social media impact. And it's, huge. There's a lot of statistics, one in particular about the younger people. And that example that you shared, I think I saw a report on that where a young girl did, commit S word suicide based on a group she got herself involved with from, I guess maybe it was Roblox, or was it some other
Ooh.
app, maybe Twitch or something like that. And she, got in with this group and she got t-shirts, and the mom didn't even know like some special symbol on the t-shirt was like a part of this, you know, cult group that, encouraged her to harm herself. And she, followed them and did this, terrible thing. And I think the mom is taking legal action against either the group or the social platform. So social media, definitely is an impact. Let me share this statistic that I found for regarding younger audiences. Social media itself has become a mental health resource. About 34% of teens say that at least sometimes they get information about mental health on social media, and many report that platforms help them feel accepted, supported, or connected. So that is showing you that they're looking for that need to be accepted, supported, and they're looking for that in, maybe it may not always be, some upstanding mental health organization, and maybe a group of people saying, hey, come in here, and join our group. And they may not be something that is, their best interest,
And I'm looking at especially kids,
Mhm,
and Roblox. Actually, Roblox got into trouble with that.
mhm,
I think now you look at your exposure to, and you're vulnerable. Your vulnerability is being exposed, and
mhm,
it's put into question at that point, and how well you can adapt. Now, for the strong ones, yes, you'll be able to get out of it. But for
mhm.
those who are weak-minded, you might be recruited very easily, and
Right.
that's a fear I have, especially with the young kids out there.
Mm,
Most of them would get into the situations where, yes, you go in watching these reels, and the reels may have the messages there, and then you feel like you need a sense of belonging, and especially on the younger, when you're trying, I think around the 12, 13, when they're
mhm,
trying to discover themselves,
mhm,
14, I think that's a critical time, um, for a lot of the people, and with parents especially. You you really want your kids to be upstanding, but then that's the time where now they discover themselves, and if you're not careful, whoever they meet, or whoever they get into, or get exposed to, that could be it. That could be the last time you are actually having great conversations with them.
mhm.
There's something funny about I just remember, I just had to throw this one in. Where they say about black people that you're told you cannot lock your room, because you as since you live in my house, you cannot lock your room. If you're a child, you have to be able to get in. Well, I just realized my son does not lock his door at all. He
But he
leaves
closes the door.
No, he leaves it wide open. I mean, you just walk in.
Really? That's because y'all don't want the door closed, or what?
His choice. His choice.
Oh, okay.
It gets hot, so he kind of leaves it all open.
Oh,
So
I had a lock
he's
on
like
my door. I
naive.
actually asked for that when I was younger.
Nah, he's like, well, he's just asleep.
But you
Yeah,
know what? I think the reason why my parents gave it to me is for privacy. When you're going through your adolescence, I think my brother might have barged in, and I'm like, ah! So for my privacy, they let me get a little latch lock because I don't think I had a turn knob. I had like a little latch, but I would put that latch on all the time. I'm like, look, leave me alone.
I don't think he would go to his sister's place because his sister would really scream at him, and I don't. Yeah, it wouldn't be a nice sight. So I think
Mm-hmm.
they may have done it a couple of times just to annoy her, or maybe hit the door to scare her,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of stop because she would lash out at him, and then we'd get in and tell him, look, you gotta respect your siblings, and then stop. So yeah,
Yeah.
and that that sibling rivalry has a time and place. I think he realized, oh, I'm grown now, I don't need to do this. Plus,
Yeah.
but anyway, that was the thing about him and his open door policy.
Mm-hmm.
Wide
Mm-hmm.
open, he just passed him like, bruh, you ain't gonna close that door. Well, I'm like, well,
As long as
he ain't
he's
gonna be
not
making
slamming the door.
he ain't gonna be making a bomb in there, like those kids.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, we're going out of the subject. Let's get back into where we were talking, what we're talking about. Um, TikTok. So what do you suggest would be the best options for getting into now? Let's say, for example, I see a video of this person, they're having these issues. What can I take from it? Do I go forth and listen some more, or depending on the story, or if I'm getting into the story, where do I stop? How
Mm-hmm.
do you tell when do you stop? Because at some point they may say, "Oh, here's my Cash App." Scrolling down.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. Look, sometimes the cash app is like bing, in the caption, so you kind of know what type of time they may be on, right? But look at the tools that we have. There's therapy, like traditional real therapy, whether it's virtual or calling several resources that may be available to you in your city and actually seeking out some therapy, journaling, establishing boundaries. Maybe you need to separate yourself from this content. Take a TikTok fast or social media fast, you know what I mean? And just establish a boundary with that, just like how you may need to establish a boundary with a person in your circle, your family, your partner, and you may have to do that internally and fast from things that are not serving you at the moment. So I think it's that may be a place to start if
What boundary are you
it's
talking about with a partner? Ain't no boundary with your partner. That's why you're your partner.
you can share that, hey, and I have to do this with my guy too, like, hey, I don't like it when you do blah blah blah. It makes me feel insignificant, or makes me feel whatever, and so yeah, that's a boundary, and you have the right to establish a boundary, just like Denise Moore, licensed mental health counselor, has told us several times, who has been a guest on the show. And yeah, that, and Brother Ed has, other people in the mental health space has shared, boundaries are real and needed for a reason. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think when you start establishing the boundaries, that's what it says a lot about you and your strength. I think you gain a lot of strength by having um, a way of creating a boundary, knowing where, like, this is where I'm going to stop. You know, this is where I can go to, and I think it's very powerful if you can. I would suggest really going to those traditional ways of getting therapy.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, y- there's always going to be help available to you. The question is, what kind of help? You know,
Right.
um, you just don't want to throw yourself out there and get whimsical help. You know, get help that is established licensed therapists. The barbershop could be a start where for men it takes time before you get out, go to the barbershop, you have that conversation, and then at the barbershop they tell you, hey, you know what, I got somebody I go to, and then you hear people saying, okay, yeah, I do go for therapy, then you go for therapy. um
Hmm.
Online, I think I would say use it as a way of just checking it out and seeing if a person goes out and says something and you're like, okay, I may be having an issue like that. What options, you start questioning yourself, what options are they doing that I could also be doing to make myself better or make myself get out of the situation? You know, if they're
Hmm.
drowning in debt, okay, we're both drowning in debt. What can we do? Who
Hmm.
can I talk to get me out of this situation? Because they are having a problem and I'm having a problem. We're looking in the mirror. You're looking at yourself. Actually, it's like you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and then what are you going to decide to do?
Hmm.
You're kind of making those decisions. Um, Make positive decisions. Make decisions that will help you get out of those weird stuff, and then you propel forward. I'm always looking for wins. I'm not looking for
Hmm.
failures, even though sometimes failures are ways of making you know where not to go. It could be one of those situations where now, after you get that failure, which is what probably you're perceiving at that time, just turn it around and let's keep it moving and hit the yes, the finish line. By the way, did I tell you Soda was online with us?
On TikTok, right?
Yeah, she's on TikTok. She always shows up on
Well,
TikTok.
hey to Miss Holly, aka Soda. We thank you for tapping in, and all the ones on the other platforms. Uh, Welcome in.
Yeah, so I don't know if she's gonna be out at the Podfest. A lot of people are showing up.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
she's probably gonna show up there.
And then
What
also, I wanted to remind everyone
do you
that
have any?
the what is it?
Go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
the hotline for mental health matters. If you
Yeah.
ever do, need to talk to someone, you can reach this particular line by phone or by texting 8988.
Oh, it's 898. You know, we keep saying it all the time
Yeah,
when we are doing
so
the show, because most of the time we also talk about mental health. I remember we also did about the damn time we did that too.
yes, yeah, for
Many people
sure.
keep on throwing out there. Yeah, so yeah, we keep using that line all the time, which we prefer,
It
call that
is, and
line.
it's confidential in all the languages, whichever language you need. It can even be used by text. So yeah.
So, what's our call to action? What's your call
Well,
to action regarding to this issue we have, this pending
well,
issue that we have?
like we talked about some tools that are available. You may need to unplug, establish some boundaries with yourself, just within what you are consuming is content wise. Seek out community perhaps and therapy perhaps. Okay.
Oh, we also talked about hey, we talked self care,
Mhm.
and one thing we discussed, we talked about this before, the self care. What do you consider self care? I know
Right,
just
because
talk about self care or something, but what do you consider self care? You personally?
well, so, I mean, because we talked about like what is really self care, you know what I mean? In some people's mind or view, it may be like a pamper day or getting your hair and nails done. But is that really self care? You know what I mean? Like, something, I guess I'm thinking like dig deeper than that, right? So, self care may be, meditating or taking a bath and sitting in your feelings and maybe expressing journal writing, things like that.
So, to you, what would you do in terms of self care?
um I like the idea of meditating and journal writing, you know um
So you meditate and you journal. That's what you're
yeah,
saying.
I do. I've always been
Okay.
a journaler, yeah, so I like.
I find that hard just to keep writing about this stuff.
And now you can do it digitally, so it's so easy. And then lately, I've have found fun in using some of the AI video sites to kind of a creative idea for like a mini story in my head, or maybe a movie that I liked, and just seeing my own version of it, and putting that out in these sites. Not I know some people detest those video sites, but I kind of use it as like a little expression moment, and share it out there and then see people recreate or remix it, and it's kind of fun. So
So when you meditate group meditation or quiet
I
meditation.
would say quiet. And then, there's some lo-fi sounds that you can find on YouTube or other platforms to kind of help you assist in your quiet time. So
Oh, okay. So you would take you take music and then you sit in a corner dark room and kind of play the music and just chill for a while, like maybe 30 minutes or more.
yeah, some quiet time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, for me, I don't know. I could take a nap, or I could go take a walk or a run or
Oh,
exercise.
that's good.
Maybe that's my self care.
Hmm.
Or retail therapy. Retail
Oh
therapy.
God,
How
that's
about
is
that?
that one? Is that one?
Well, you'll always have buyer's remorse after that because you
Right.
never know what you might get. But um, I think to me, if I have like a walk in the park,
Hmm.
or I rest, because normally working podcasting is hard. and all the stuff that I do. At the end of the day, I just want to chill, relax, and just have a quiet time to myself. So if I get a nap, a nice good old nap, or maybe I sit and watch a nice movie, and I'm good to go. I can rejuvenate back right to square one, and we can start the next day like, hey, like nothing ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what happens. I think towards the end of the like December, November, December, because the whole year is running around, then you have that time. I just want to take a whole day, just take a nap. Because don't say vacation, because vacation is not therapy. I don't think vacation is therapy. Would you consider vacation therapy? I
Not
mean, I want to ask
necessarily.
you,
Not
right, would
necessarily.
you consider vacation therapy? Because you're always running up and down. You don't even have time to chill because you plan everything and then you like you're
It's
here.
fun though. It's something to look forward to. I know I'm excited about a vacation. It is stressful though, like, do I have everything? Oh my God, I gotta hurry up and get to the gate and. But yeah, it looks like we have some comments.
Yeah. So Ed says it's vital that when establishing a boundary that you communicate that boundary or the boundaries your loved ones boundary to your loved ones and friends and etc. So yeah, you got to tell them what your boundaries are. So one can only be held accountable once they're informed of our boundaries, of our boundary. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I like that. I like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
you can't come and intervene on their boundaries, if you don't know what exactly it is. Otherwise, you keep interfering and interfering. So yeah.
Right.
So my self care is I'll take a nap, I'll get some quiet time, I'll run,
Okay.
I'll exercise, and then I'll be good. I think I'll exercise first and then come take a nap, and then I feel good. That does it for me. Yeah.
That's good.
The retail
Okay.
therapy is sometimes maybe.
Okay. All right. Anything else to share?
No, at this time, I think I'll say I've had a great time today. Um, Looking forward to next week. We'll probably do something next week. Oh, this year has a lot of things coming up, and I have a lot of projects that are coming up too. Man,
You do,
uh,
and you'll be traveling on our next week, so we may have to change the day.
yeah. The last
Let me
time we did,
know.
last time we did it, I was there at the Podfest. I had to take a break, and then
That's
I
a
missed.
lot. We may have to do it different. Do it different so you can
Yeah, they had a party going on, and I missed out on the party. This
don't
time I
miss
got.
the party.
Well, I kind of caught the end of it, but it was okay. Well, it
We'll
is
figure
what
it
it is.
out. We'll figure it out.
But yeah,
And
so
then we
next week,
have a yeah.
yeah, and then we have some couple of guests here that are lined up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also trying to get back to doing the other podcast, Sambaza.
You
There's Sambaza.
should.
Uh, See what comes up. A lot of
And
people
we're
have been
gonna
asking.
do a Sambaza takeover one. um, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah, we could do that because it'll be interesting to do Sambaza takeover. Yep, I'd enjoy that too. Well, I guess with that we're gonna say Jen, take us home.
all right. Well, we thank you guys for joining us on all the platforms. The audio episode will be coming soon. Please, we hope that the conversation has inspired and enlightened you. If you found it meaningful, please consider sharing it with family and friends. Our collective awareness and advocacy play a crucial role in creating positive change. We invite you to stay tuned for more engaging content, and we look forward to continuing these important conversations in the future. So, with that, we Happy New Year and take care. At this time, we're going to go ahead and conclude the episode. We greatly appreciate you listening. We invite you to follow us on social media. On Instagram, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. On Twitter, it is Woke by. On Facebook, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. We also have the new website up, www.wokebyaccident.net. Please check us out. And also follow us on all of your favorite streaming platforms. And please leave a review and share feedback. You can also reach out by Gmail, wokebyaccident@gmail.com. And every time you listen, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for listening and take care.